First, you're going to need to find a sheet of loose leaf paper, or you could rip it out of a binder, and some things to mark a start and an end. Loose leaf paper is 27 centimeters long. So, if we take our loose leaf paper and we find something to mark where we started, and then measure 10 sheets of paper down, that gives us about 270 centimeters. Once you get to the end, mark your spot that you stopped. You have a PDF of the lab which has this data table. I wrote it on paper for myself so I would be able to record it a little bit easier. You could do the same thing if that helps, and then move it to your computer. At this point, you're going to need a timer, which could be your iPad, could be a phone, whatever you need in order to collect your time as we move forward. The first motion you're going to do is crawling. You're going to make sure you go all the way down and all the way back and time yourself. Your data table already has crawling filled in, and it already has 540 centimeters written. That comes from the fact that we figured out it was 270 centimeters one way, but you're going two ways, so that is 540 centimeters. Then we can record our time. Your second motion is going to be skipping, so time yourself going there and back, or have somebody help you. Now we have our data, so I'm going to fill skipping into my data table, which you already have. Again, we did 540 centimeters, and I will record the time into the data table. Notice that I'm labeling my numbers as well. Those unit labels are super important. Okay, so for this last step, we're going to need to do some calculations. So as we know, the formula for speed is speed equals distance divided by time. So we have a distance, we have a time, we have our motions, so now we have to divide. So I'm going to use my calculator here, and I'm going to do 540, which is my distance, divided by 9.35, which is my time. Now, obviously, this is a way longer number than we want. Our goal here is to have 2 decimal places. So what I'm gonna write down 57.7, and then I have to figure out what to do with this 5. So the way that I figure this out is I look at the next number, 4. Now, if this number is 4 or below, that means I leave that 5 alone. If this number were 5 or above, we think 5 or above, give it a shove, and this number would get bigger. But because this is 4, I'm going to put a 5 here, and then it's over, and then my label, centimeters per second. Okay? So then for our skipping, I'm going to clear my calculator. Again, our distance was the same. It was 540 divided by our time, which was 5.94. And that also gives us a long number. So I'm going to do 90.9, and then I have a 0. So I have to look at that next number, 9. Is that 5 or above? Sure it is, so it's going to give this a shove. So this is actually going to become a 1 centimeters per second. So if we look at our data here, we put my calculator out of the way, we can see that crawling, my speed was 57.75 centimeters per second. So that means in 1 second, my daughter went 57.75 centimeters. Skipping was 90.91 centimeters per second, which means that my other daughter went 90.91 centimeters in 1 second when she was skipping.